Hey YouTube, so it's quite late on Sunday actually, it's about 10:15 and today has been UK Gamesday, and as you can see, first thing I did was go to Forge World. Was quite literally the first thing that we did. Got the coach up with our store, good old Leamington Spa, and we got there pretty early, right at the front of the queue, because you've got to try and get in early for these things. Yeah, so as soon as they opened the doors, raced straight across all the arenas, straight to the sales area, straight to Forge World, and managed to annoy the crap out of the poor guy that was stuck serving me. Original plan was to get there and go for the new Dimios pattern, or Dimios, however you pronounce it, pattern Rhino, and some Mark IV armour and the special, the old school pre-heresy rocket launchers. So he went off and he spent about 20 minutes looking for them, and by the time he got back I'd noticed that this little puppy was also available on the day, and I didn't think it was going to be. So what I have here in front of me is the Land Raider Proteus, the Forge World remake of the Mk1 resin Land Raiders. Before I unpack it, I'll just tell you the rest of the story for those of you that weren't at Gamesday. The actual arena, if you think of this relatively square bag as the arena where the sales was done. Tills across the front here, Forge World across the back there, actually conveniently where the Forge World bit is. Anyway, all your tills and your queue ran here, here and back again, and that was all fenced off. And then it ran up this back wall and then couldn't go any further, so it ran back down here and then along here and then back up here. So yeah, we queued for about 40 minutes, maybe more, to pay for my goddamn Land Raider. And I know that was a major bugbear with a lot of people. Bumped into Marnius Augustus Calgar later on in the day, good old Mac from Red Steel, and he was planning on getting the Tantalus, the Dark Eldar Tantalus, and he was just so miffed with how much queuing he had to do, and in the end he just threw it back at Forge World and said, stuff it, I'll mail order it, can't be bothered to queue. A bit later on in the day, there was a big tannoy announcement, we're really sorry about the queues, and what we're going to do to fix it is you're going to have to queue now outside of the arena to go into the sales arena, and then you can get all your stuff and then do the big queue. Which was pretty fucking dumb, to be honest, pardon my French, but it was just stupid. And a little while later I bumped into Lyndon from Blackson Art Studios in the big queue outside waiting to go back in. So that was, for me, that was about the only downside to Gamesday this year, was the lack of organisation in the sales area. But the actual day was phenomenal. Golden Demon, as ever, was brilliant. The armies on parade were phenomenal. Some of them were just absolutely mind-blowing. And of course the actual gaming tables that they set up were beautiful. But I've got another video that I can put up with a load of still photos, so I'll ramble on that about later. What you're here to see now, I guess, is what you get in this lovely bag of bits. So the Land Raider Proteus is a complete resin pack, and I gotta say, there is a boatload of resin in here. So, parts list. You get 2 track pieces, 2 track pieces, 2 track pieces, the dozer blade, some hatches, heavy bolter, more track pieces. Haven't got a clue. Number 11, what's that? Sponson upper arm sprues, the actual las cannons for the sides, obviously the bottom of the Land Raider, the top hull of the Land Raider, the side pieces, all the little hatches, bits and pieces, and obviously the doors. Only has the side doors, doesn't have the front hatch like the modern ones. It's actually quite a bit smaller as well, but we can come to that later. So with that all out of the way, the main blocky bits of resin that you get, ooh, shaky camera as I'm reaching down for everything. So, turn that the right way around. Main blocky bits of resin are your hull pieces. So the side doors to the rear of the Land Raider. So front, back, front, back. Absolutely hoofing great bits of resin. Obviously not as big as, you know, something like a Mk1 or super heavy, but big enough. Got enough weight to them, pretty solid. Big cast runs for the sprue. So if nothing else, whopping great tank trap, and I mean whopping and great. Night Lord Marine. So yeah, this big. So yeah, they're your main bits. Obviously, the access hatch for the doors. That's where the las cannon sponsons are going to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to Dremel these out, pop some magnets in, so that A, my las cannons can be removed if I suffer weapon destroyed, and B, if I want, I can spin them up. Shoot up here, shoot down there, shoot wherever I want to go. The hull, top hull's really nice, so you've got the little viewport in the front there, so they can have a peek at what's coming. The top turret, which on this Land Raider, do you know, I don't think it's actually an open turret on this one. It is, bring the picture back up, I don't know if you can see that too well, closed hatch on the top. I think I have, knocking about somewhere, some tank crew, so I might stick a guy out the top. I might not, I think I'll probably just leave it closed, to be honest. Vents, the usual bits and bobs. Inside they've still cast the actual floor, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me unless you're going to model it open. You know, the underside, which for me is just going to be muddy as sin. The inside fittings are all cast around on here. And they do actually fit quite well, so if I put that in the right way, so little chip cut out there, little block fits in quite comfortably there. Yes, I know there's still great big bits on there from the casting and the sprues, and yes, that's really poor angles on the lighting, but you get the idea. Sits up into there, so if you're going to do a diorama, you have that lovely walkway feeling there into the actual tank itself, and the floor still has that looking in the wrong part, still has that track to it into there, which is really quite nice. So big and bulky, they're the main 4 bits of the hull, and what I'm going to do now is just debag the rest of the stuff, have a look through that, and yeah, 2 secs, put a little cool transition in, and I'll be right back. Okay, so next bag, little bag within the big bag, and no prizes for guessing what's in here. I don't even really need to unbag this one, but track, oddly enough, that's something that's quite common on tanks. Really quite a nice cast, looks quite like the originals from back when, I can't tell you the year, but from back when the original Land Raiders were released. No Aquillas or anything across the tracks like you get on some of the super heavies or on some patterns of the tanks. I'd never really liked that. Pretty standard, not too shiny on there. For me, they're just going to get muddied up, well, dusted down. To my Night Lords that I'm going to be building these for are on like an ash world. They're burnt and black and horrible. You've seen them on the other videos. You certainly do get a lot of tank traps, so I'm going to have build those and sculpt them and carve them into rubble. The other bits in this bag are the actual las cannons for the side sponsons, and as you can see, they're staggered back, and they are really quite pretty. So yeah, las cannon goodness. I'm going to enjoy that. Second bag within the bag down. Let's have a look at what's in the third. And there's a lot of crap in this third one, but all absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so third and final bag of bits, and this is the bag of bits. So let me just drop all this out and work out quite what we've got in the pile. So there's still some tank tracks, so for the actual corner pieces on the tank. The engine block, I believe this part is, on the actual back of the hull. Quite a nice little bit of kit, that, actually. Open at the top there. There it is, sorry. So those little half moon semicircles are actually for the engine vents, the exhaust vents. So I'm going to have a stab with some weathering powders, some of the black soot weathering powders, to try and dirty those up. You can see a nice cheeky little Aquila, which is actually left separate there. So with me being Night Lords and eventually going to Chaos, and I will still be using this when I go for my Chaos Night Lords, I'm not going to put that Aquila on. So Brian, I might let you have that for one of your many conversion projects. More tank tracks. What are these parts? Obviously piping of some sort. Let me just have a look on the parts list. Part number 32. More exhaust pipes. So part of this mechanism. So my guess will be they come in the bottom of the stack there and then go into the actual back of the tank. Yeah, I don't actually need to look these parts up. These are the doors on the access hatches. Plain, boring, not my cup of tea. I did have a chat with the design team at the Forge World stand about halfway there. The Forge World design team that were there on their stand about halfway through the day, to find out if the current Night Lord doors were the same size. Night Lords, Land Raider doors are the same size. Sorry if I'm using wrong words, and Night Lords, doors, Rhinos, Land Raiders. I'm actually absolutely shattered, but if I don't get this video done tonight and at least started to upload, Brian will probably yell at me. Anyway, yes, doors, same size as the current modern day Land Raider, so the Forge World equivalents will fit them. This is what I was told. So I did go back to get some Forge World doors for my Night Lords. They're in a bag somewhere. I can't quite remember where I've put them. 1, 2 seconds, and there is one of them. Shaky camera work. Sorry, yes. Okay, so instead of putting on that boring door, I'm putting on that slightly cooler door. Obviously cleaning the flash off first, but the Night Lord's insignia, yes, I know it has the 8-fold star behind it. No, I'm not going to get rid of it, because quite frankly I'm a little bit lazy with my Dremel, and I don't want to risk damaging the actual cast of the wings. So my detail freak in me is going to have to just live with that one. Dozer blade, quite different to the modern day dozer blades that you get on the tanks. For one thing, this is quite a bit smaller, because the actual wheel tracks come either side of it, like my finger and thumb there, so it actually sits inside of the boundaries of the track, which is a little bit weird. Hatch system, some sort of turret or hatch system. Wait, no, these do you know, I actually have no idea what these are. Part number 15, sponson mounts. Right, sponson mounts. Now it all makes sense. So these, Oh, no, they don't fit in there at all. I'm probably looking in the wrong part. Again, apologies, it's tired. They're round, shiny, pretty things for the moment. These are the wheel bracings, I believe, the 33, 34, yeah, road wheel housing. Weaponry for the actual hull mounted weaponry, you have the option of a heavy bolter or a multi-melter. My current, or my initial reaction, was to go with a heavy bolter for anti-troop, because it's obviously got the las cannons on the side for anti-armour, and then obviously following a conversation with Brian, oh, why don't you just magnetise them? Because I'm an idiot and I didn't even think of that. Cabling and targeting system for the sponsons, and you get 2 of those obviously because there's 2 sponsons. These bits here, again looking up on my glorious parts list, are something number 11 upper armour sprues on the sponson, brackets, and these are what the actual las cannons are mounted in to swivel. A big old hunk of resin. When I first saw this, I thought it was actually just another tank trap or some actual miscasting, but no, this is the rear hull. So hopefully they'll actually put a decent armour value on the rear armour if it's that thick. More little bits, pieces and parts, so big pile of parts. So that has been the, I say, unbagging of the Space Marine Land Raider Proteus. I think I might have called it the Prometheus earlier, which is completely wrong. Again, apologies, I am so tired. All that's left for me to do now is edit this into a coherent video, hopefully get it online, and thanks for watching, guys. What I want to do with this particular model is I'm going to do a start to finish, step by step. This is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it, and this is how I'm doing it. Some of the steps that I'll be doing will be pretty obvious for those of you that have worked with resin before. For those of you that haven't, I'm going to try and do as much as I can without skipping anything. So luckily tomorrow morning I'm not at work. I booked the Monday off, which means that my job for tomorrow morning is sticking all this resin in the bathtub, filling it with piping hot water and a boatload of fairy liquid, and cleaning it down, because I have never had a cast from Forge World that's got this much soap on it, basically, for getting it out, which I suppose is to be expected. It's brand new casts, brand new moulds. The quality of it, for me, is fantastic. Not a single piece is warped or bent. I don't have to heat anything up. I fitted the chassis together, and it actually, everything matches. I think I mentioned that it's quite a bit smaller than the current Land Raiders, but again, you will see that as I go and build through the series. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned, stay safe, and I will see you all in the very near future. Chat to you later. Bye.